right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's Super Bowl 56 media availability with Cincinnati Bengals tight end CJ Uzomah. If you have any questions here for CJ, please hit the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen and we'll get started. Let's start off with Mike Petraglia.
Hey CJ, how are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. Look at
I,
this. Look at this get up right here. I'm doing
yeah,
great.
it looks pretty sleek, I must say. Obviously, we haven't had a chance to talk to you since the injury in Kansas City. How are you feeling, and what has the last week been like for you rehabbing, getting to the point where you're at?
Um, I'm feeling great. And I mean, I don't know, I've spent a lot of time with Nick and the staff, rehabbing this Achilles injury that I had last year, so I kind of knew what I was getting into, and what I was going to get out of hanging out with Nick and Berto and that staff. But it's been a grind. It's been a lot of early mornings, late nights, of just rehabbing and fighting through some stuff. But I feel really good. I feel really, really good.
All right, let's go to Jose Rodriguez.
Thank you, CJ. Obviously, getting to the Super Bowl is something that everybody dreams of. So I'm just wondering right now, you're less than a week away from the big game. What are you thinking, and how do you stay away from the thought of actually being there and playing and concentrating on getting ready, to play at the highest level? Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a I like that. Yeah, it is something that we've dreamed of since we were kids, right? Being able to win a Super Bowl, play in the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, have all your friends and family support you. So it's been for me, it's been fairly easy. I got did my whole ticket thing the day that I like got the tickets and just kind of put it to bed, and my friends and family they're not bugging me, and so now we're just getting to focus on the team, and it's been easy with these guys too. I mean, we've had the most focus we've had all year. It's not something that we're allowing the moment to get too big for us right now. It's just let's go out there and win this last game and be world champs. So yeah, the moment, the pressure, nothing's really sticking out and kind of being a hindrance to us. It's just all right. Let's go out there, do our job, execute, do what we need to do, and come out with another win.
Yep, Jose, go ahead.
Well, obviously, there's a human side of this, right? Because it's not like CJ just woke up yesterday and now, or this morning, and now you're in the Super Bowl. Can you talk a little bit about the support system that you have had throughout your career, your family growing up, the dream of being here? Can you talk a little bit about that process?
Oh, all right, I could talk a little or a lot. Yeah, I my support system has been tremendous, from my parents to my friends. The people that I decided that I wanted to come to the Super Bowl, it was pretty quick. I wanted my family there. I wanted my mom and dad first and foremost. You know, I and I'm sure just like everyone else that's playing right now. I didn't have a normal summer. I didn't get to go on trips too much or enjoy too many family vacations. We had some sparingly, but it was primarily just my parents driving me to football camps and spending time with my high school friends when we had football camps, and those are my closest guys. My two best friends, two of my two best friends that I've had since I was 6 years old because they've been with me. They've been grinding with me, and I wouldn't be the person I am without them. And then my parents, man, my parents are they're the greatest. They mean the world to me. I probably don't tell them enough, but they mean the absolute world to me. Just driving me everywhere, driving me to all these camps, driving me to all my recruiting visits, coming to pretty much every game that I've ever played in ever. Um, so yeah, the human aspect is, I'm getting to play at the highest level in front of the people that have supported me, been there with me through the ups and downs, and I'm getting to share this moment with them, of playing at the highest level and in the biggest game that you can play in.
Chris Rankel, go ahead.
Yeah, CJ, you're one of the guys who's been in the locker room through basically the whole process from the last playoff run until now. When that game went final in Kansas City and you realized you're going to the Super Bowl, did you think back at all the hard times and the perseverance? Because you've kind of been that guy, the guiding, the positive guy in the locker room to get them to here.
Yeah, I think so, a little bit. I think it was a little bit after the fact. I think in that moment I was elated for the guys and for myself and for this team and what we've accomplished so far. Knowing that we were going to the Super Bowl, so I thought about just this team in general. And then when I laid my head down at night, I took a moment personally to reflect on kind of this organization's journey to get to where we are over the past couple of years of kind of some turmoil and a little bit of the lows. And kind of just riding that wave, right? You're not doing the best as an organization, as a team. You feel like, personally, I'm like, what can I do more to help contribute? And when it's all said and done, now we're going to the Super Bowl, and we've ridden that wave to be where we are right now. So yeah, I definitely took a moment and reflected and thought back on the last couple of years and. Just went to bed with a smile on my face, knowing that at the end of the day, we're getting to play. We're playing the freaking Super Bowl. Like that is so sick. That's so sick. So yeah, I definitely had a little kid in me at the end of the night.
All right, let's go to Charlie Goldsmith.
Hey, CJ. Obviously, with the knee, I'm sure you're doing every single piece of rehab you possibly can to play. Can you just describe how intense that rehab is and also the emotions of having to do all this stuff to get back, hoping to play in the biggest game of your life?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the emotions. It's not really. I don't know. It's the Super Bowl. I'm doing everything I can. I don't really care too much about how I'm feeling. To be honest, when I'm out there, I talking to Nick, asking like, hey, if I'm doing this, is this going to affect anything? Like, is this going to just hurt or is it going to be structural? Like, whatever. And when he gives me the answer, I'm like, all right, cool, dope. And my mind's made up that I'm just going to do it. And I'm not, to me, I'm like, all right, I'm not missing the biggest game of my life, right? Like, I'm not missing it. So that's my approach going into every day of rehab. If I wake up and I'm like, oh man, it's a little sore, all right, it doesn't matter, right? Like right when I get into that building, right when I put my feet on the ground, it's all right, it's go time. Let's get this rehab going. Let's do everything I can to make sure that I'm ready and available to play. So that's kind of where my mind is.
Mike Petraglia.
Hey, CJ. So to that point, your mindset is you expect to be ready to play on Sunday?
Day to day. I don't know what I was supposed to say to that one. Day to day. My mind is yes, but for the sake of everyone else, I'm just going to say day to day.
Let's go to George Radney.
Okay. Yes, CJ. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I got you now. George Radney. This is George Radney from Challenger Community News. Good morning to you. How's everything going?
It's going great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Glad to be out here in Los Angeles and looking forward to this great week. And I'm wondering for you, CJ, being a team leader, when you had that injury and you felt, what was going through your mind after the injury and thinking about and then going back to thinking, hoping the team can win this game and finish this game. What was? Can you take me back through the injury and through the end of the game?
Yeah, through the injury, I was upset that I missed the pass. To be honest, yeah, I was. I got hurt and dropped the ball, so I wasn't very happy about that one. But yeah, just mindset was, I was carted off the field and I, had tears in my eyes because I wasn't being able to play more so than just the pain. I was upset that I wasn't going to be able to, go out there and compete with the guys and help, on the field, win the AFC Championship. But after halftime, they're like, well, you should probably stay in here and keep your leg elevated and all this. And I was like, nah, I want to be out there with the boys and I want to be able to support them and cheer them on when we win. And that's what I was able to do, and I'm blessed that I was able to get back out there and be on crutches and support the boys as they did their thing and ultimately won the game and put us in the Super Bowl. So I was super bummed at first, and then immediately at halftime, my mindset switched to just be a vocal leader, support in any way that you can. I'm not going to be on the field, but I can give advice. I can talk to the guys. I can cheer them on and root them on. So that's kind of where my mindset went and where my mind went.
Chris Rankel, go ahead.
CJ, I got a tough one for you. This has been a magical season for the Bengals. Is it more magical than that 2013 ride you had with Auburn?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's great. I've kind of been waiting for something like this, because I think about that a lot actually, and I think about the close games that I had, at Auburn, and it came down to a last second, we got a kick six, we got the prayer Jordan Hare against Georgia and all this stuff, and I'm thinking like, oh, this is eerily similar. It's different because we got Shooter McPherson back there just striking up everything, but it's coming down to these last ditch efforts, and so yeah, I think about that a lot. But this is definitely, in my mind, this is a little bit sweeter, a lot sweeter. But again, it's eerily similar. We're going to California. We played in the national championship in California, so. I've been waiting for that question. Yeah, there are a lot of similarities in my head, but the difference is we're coming out on top and not losing the biggest game. So, I appreciate that question actually.
All right, let's go to Ben Volen, Boston Globe.
CJ, congrats on making it to the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
2 years ago, you guys were 2-14. Now you're in the Super Bowl. Not to imply that it all comes down to one person, but how much credit does Joe Burrow deserve for this turnaround, and how much confidence does he give you guys?
Oh, how many nicknames does the guy have this year, right? Like, Shiesty, franchise. He's got ice in his veins. So yeah, the utmost confidence, right? Like we got him in the huddle. We have his mind and his ability to analyze defenses and just be a leader, just a presence, a ice cold-blooded killer out there, just dissecting defense. It's great. It's great. He that's why I call him franchise. He's a franchise player. He's someone who can turn an organization around. And like you said, it's not one person. It's not. This is a team game. It's the ultimate team game, and one of the hardest things to achieve in sports. And but he is a vital part in why we are where we are. He's the man, dude. I love Joe, man. He's sick. So I'm glad he's on my team. That's for sure.
Nate Davis, USA Today.
Hey, CJ. You're one of the few guys that's kind of played with Andrew Whitworth, and some people have called this the Whitworth Bowl. Obviously, you played next to him at times. Just wanted to ask you about maybe what he meant to this team when he was here, maybe to you personally, and what it'll be like, taking him on with all the chips on the table.
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough about Whit. As personally, times change. Rookies kind of talk a little more than they should now, but when I came in, I didn't say a word. I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to put my head down and work. And there were a certain few people that were like, hey, I'll talk to you a little bit. And I talked when they talked to me, and Whit was one of them. Coming out of Auburn, I wasn't a traditional tight end, right? Like I didn't have my hand down all 4 years, and was a little somewhat new-ish to the position and as it relates to the NFL. So but he helped me out a lot. You know, he'd be like, hey, just kind of do this. Like, and I didn't even question it. I was like, all right, I'm doing that. Like, I don't care. Like, if Whit's saying something, I'm gonna do it. So that meant a lot. You know, it meant a lot to have a veteran, especially a veteran who's as good as he was on the field and as great as a man as he is off the field. You know, kind of take a second just to be like, hey, just do this, man. Just hey, do this with your footwork. You know, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for double teaming, or you know, you're on your own, man. Like I'm not giving you help. That it just things like that to me resonate as a rookie. Is a like this. He knows what's up. He's been doing this for a while. He's still doing this at such a high level, and it meant the world to me as someone who didn't really talk, who's kind of soft spoken. I'm the most outgoing person. I can't shut up now. But back then it meant the world to me. So I'm happy for him and his success, and I'm looking forward to getting after it. You know, when we play this upcoming weekend.
Mike Petraglia, go ahead.
CJ, tonight should be pretty special at Paul Brown Stadium. Obviously, the fans have been with you all, and you've really re-energized, revitalized the fan base. What do you think tonight will mean to you and the team when you see these 30,000, how many ever thousands of fans inside Paul Brown Stadium? What will that mean to you?
So you guys can't see. I'm looking at the field right now, and it's great. Like, it's so awesome. Like, all I'm thinking and envisioning right now is just fans everywhere this year. And I actually, you know, got to talk. I look at my DMs a fair amount. Like, I try to respond to certain people, and someone was like, "Yo, I'm coming tonight," and all this stuff. And I was like, "Dude, it's gonna be like 11 degrees, man. Like, if not, like, I'll see you eventually, and I'll give you an autograph, whatever." Like, oh, I don't care. I'm coming. And I'm like, that is awesome. Like, it's 11 degrees on. It's probably gonna feel like 2, and people are coming out here because they want to support us, and it's awesome. It honestly is. You know, I don't go out too much. I kind of stick to myself. Stay at the house with the pup. And you know, when I do go out, it's, you know, I'm just, everyone's like, hey man, like, congratulations. Like, I don't want to take up too much. Like we've been lifelong Cincinnati fans. This is my favorite city, or this is my favorite season that I've gotten to witness, and that means a lot. That is so like, they're so heartfelt. They have our back. They've been with us through the ups and downs, and I'm glad that the city is getting to, you know, witness a season like this. You know, they deserve it, and you know, job's not done. We still have one more game to bring back a little something for them, but yeah, it means a lot knowing that they have our backs as much as they do.
Eric Wilson, WKII, go ahead.
CJ, thank you for doing this, sir. Really quick, I just wanted to ask you, you know, piggybacking off of the last question before, this team was kind of bottom of the barrel, and now you have risen far and exceeded a lot of people's expectations. Can you speak to the culture of this team?
Yeah, again, yeah, real quick. You want a real quick or real long?
Whatever you want to do. I got some time.
No, it's. I mean, that's a testament to Coach Taylor and, you know, his staff. Yeah, you know, not too long ago we were 2 and whatever, and then, you know, we've progressively gotten a little bit better, and now we've just taken that massive leap, right? And that does speak to the culture. You know, I think with what Coach has tried to instill in us, and the culture change that he wanted to have, the people that he's brought in this year during free agency, the people that we've drafted. I mean, everyone, you play in the NFL, you're a great player. You know, you see all this backlash. Oh, this person's not good. Well, you're the best of the best. You're in the NFL for a reason, right? And so it's not always that. It's men of character. It's people that want to buy into the system. It's people that want to buy into, you know, what the coaches have to say, right? And so I think we've gotten that. You know, I think we have great players who also aren't, you know, cancers in the locker room, or people that kind of weigh the team down or bring the team down. It's people that, we don't care what's going on. We don't care who makes the play. We don't care who scores a touchdown. We don't care who gets the interception. As long as we're winning, we're hyped for everyone. We have each other's backs through thick and thin. I I'm everyone's biggest fan. Jamar, that's my little brother. I want him. I point right here because he's right next to me. So I want him to score. I want him to shatter every single record every single time he steps on the field, and he wants the same for me. So I think that's kind of it's unique. You know, it's unique because this is a business. People say that it's a business. This is your job, but you know, this is our family. Like we're treating this as that's my brother. And I want nothing but the best from him, and I know that he wants nothing from the best out of me and from me and for me. And if you step on the field with that attitude, and you're riding with your brothers, good things usually come from that.
Okay, let's go to Cody Chapin's Fox 5 Atlanta.
Hey, TJ, appreciate you doing this. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Tell me, I don't know if getting on this stage has caused you to reflect a little bit, but tell me about how, those quarterbacking days at North Gwinnett kind of set the foundation for your football career. And are you ever amazed at how many guys from Atlanta and Gwinnett County in particular are playing in the league?
Yeah. Let's go. I get hyped when I think about playing quarterback sometimes because I'm like, man, I'm like, I was good, and then I'm like, oh yeah, no, I wasn't. Like you got Joe Burrow back here, I was that good. No, it's I think back to it every time I step on the field. I listen to some songs that I listened to when I was a kid that kind of bring me back and allow me to realize this is a game I've been playing since I was 6 years old, and it's just on a much grander scale. And there's a lot more people watching, but it's amazing. I keep up with Jared Cook. Jared Cook he was the best thing that came out of North Gwinnett before Jawan James, and then I was fortunate enough to follow them, and it's amazing. It's amazing the connection that Gwinnett, Atlanta, Georgia guys have with one another, and get to talk to one another. You got Cam Sample on the team. He was like, hey, yeah, man, I remember watching you a little bit when I was growing up, and I was like, I'm not that old, man. Don't say that like that to me. But it's awesome. We have an awesome bond. Georgia guys, man. Gwinnett County, Georgia. We have a great bond, and we keep in touch. And it's awesome for me. It's awesome for me to think about things like that because I'm like, man, like 6-year-old me. If 6-year-old me could see me right now, like what would he think? And he would just be stoked. He'd be like, man, do whatever I got to do to make sure that I am where 29-year-old me is right now. So, just thinking about it right now it's amazing. It's an amazing, just like thought, I guess. Yeah.
Patrick Crowley, Sky Sports, go ahead.
Hi, CJ. I was wondering if you could tell us the difference, not only in the results, but the mentality of the team before and after Joe joined.
I like perked up. Sky Sports, what's up? We talking Formula. My mindset. Someone asked me. Someone asked me like, hey, when did you know Joe Burrow was the guy, going to be the guy? And I was like, well, when we drafted him, like watching him in college just torch every single defense in the SEC, like when his name was announced, and I was like, oh yeah, that's franchise quarterback right there. It's been everything you've heard about Joe it's the most accurate thing, right? Like I want to know what his heart rate is at all times because it's just unwavering. Like it's just like, oh nice, down 18, cool. Up 24, cool. Doesn't matter. I'm still the same. We're still gonna go down there. I still want to score every time I have the ball in my hand. Like that is how it is. And I think it's amazing. I think it's as a leader, as a commander of the huddle, that's what you want. Like we got some young guys. Jamar's 21 years old. He was born in 2000. Like that makes me feel ridiculously old. Okay, and when you've got someone who's messing around as playful as him, as playful as the receivers are, as playful as I am, and then you're looking at your leader, and the leader in the huddle is just a stone-faced killer. Like, yeah, we're gonna go score this. We're gonna get the 2-point conversion afterwards, and boom, that's it. You're like, nice. Like that is, I love hearing that. All right, now I'm going to go back to like doing what I need to do. So yeah, it's just, I mean, he's the person that he's the glue. He is the glue to this entire team, especially as an offense of just, yo, this is how it's going to be. Business as usual. Let's go down there and put points on the board. So I don't know how to put into words exactly, other than what I just said, but he's that guy.
All right, let's go to Fago Franklin, New Stitched.
Hey, how you doing, CJ?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. It's Black History Month. What does Black History mean to you? And in your perspective, how do we bridge the gap of inequality in the world?
Oh, I think I'll start with the second part first. Bridging the inequality it's a process. It's not something that changes overnight. It's not something that, us, you and I having this conversation right now is a step in and of itself. I think personally, right? I think, it's something that's going to take time. It's something that, I still have talks with people, which is great for me. People, girls, guys, like my girl, my closest friends, they ask me questions and they're like, yo, what, all this, there was a tweet, someone was like, yeah, all this hype on, certain guys, but, other players, who are minorities that kind of get overlooked and, what does that mean to them? All this stuff. Locker room is different for me. I think conversations go outside of the locker room. Locker room we're a family. We talk about things like this all the time and we have each other's backs. So yeah, it's one conversation at a time, multiple times, not just one social media post, one interview, one this, one that. It's accumulation of things, and I think I speak. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I know a lot of the guys in the locker room feel the same way. If we're being completely honest, I forgot the first part of your question because I was focused on that second part because I like that. Can you say this first part again?
Yes, sir. Got you. What does Black History mean to you?
Oh, I mean, it means me. It is me. I have been fortunate enough to get to know a part of my father's family a little bit more, over the coming years, unfortunately, because of my grandmother's passing. But I got to see, a side of my family that I hadn't seen in a while, right? And there's been some things going on with the fam, but that brought us together, and that means the world to me. Seeing, going to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and seeing my family and seeing my dad's side of the family, and being able to reconnect with them and talk to them and hear their story. My dad's story is crazy. My dad has actually never told me this, like his full life story until my grandmother's passing, but hearing his journey and how he got to the States and how he got his education and how the battles that he had to fight, he and his father had to fight and overcome is, we talk about in sports, they say, you had to overcome adversity. It's an adversity in the sports world. What my father and what his father had to endure, that's true adversity. And that's something that, that sticks with me. It resonates with me. And hearing his story, I'm like, man, I get to play the game that I love because of them and because of people that, my family's heritage and people like them and people that have fought for this. So, what does it mean? It means that I am able to do what I love because my dad and his father and, their fathers before them put me in the position to be where I'm at.
All right, let's go to Juan Vecchi, No Huddle.
Hello, CJ.
Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. In your opinion, which is the Los Angeles Rams' biggest strength, and what does your team have to do to respond to it?
Their biggest strength, I mean, from an offensive standpoint, their defense just plays as a complete unit. You know, they have unbelievable players, yes. Everyone does, but I mean, them more so than anyone else. They have some dominant players, but they play as a collective unit, and I love I couldn't love this matchup more between two teams because we play as a collective unit, and so yeah, it's what do we have to do? We have to play within ourselves. I think personally, I think we have to make sure that we don't let the moment get too big for us, and just do what we've been doing. But I mean, I can't speak I can't speak highly enough of how they complement one another, how they let their playmakers do what they do, but also play off of that, and know where each other is going to be, and their zone schemes. If one linebacker is out of position, the safety knows, right, and the safety covers it, and it's impressive, but we have to play within ourselves, and we play well together as well.
All right, let's go to Tommy Kjærsgaard in with TV3 in Denmark.
Hi, CJ. First of all, congrats.
How's the weather in Denmark over there? Are you in Denmark right now?
I am in Denmark right now, and actually, for Danish conditions, the weather is pretty good. It's like, I only know Celsius, so around 4 or 5 degrees and rainy.
Okay.
That's in Denmark.
Nice, good. All right, sorry, continue.
First of all, you already talked about how Burrow helped you turn this franchise around. Can you talk a little bit about what it meant for you as a team to also get Chase in, and just your whole experience of witnessing him in training camp, seeing the bond that Burrow and Chase have together? And then I'm just going to be a little bit cheeky here and ask a double question because you wanted to talk soccer. Can you also just quickly, in the end, explain why the hell you're a Chelsea fan and how more about the season?
Yeah, I got you. I'll talk Jamar first. Jamar has brought a sense of playing the game to me the way that it should be played, and that's from a point of view of we've been playing this game since we were little kids for the most part. Like, a lot of us have been playing since we were 6, 7, 8 years old. Whenever you start, and it's fun to I hate saying that I'm the old guy on the team. I am one of the old guys on the team, and to have someone as youthful and as fun, as outgoing as he is, that allows everyone else to be themselves, and that allows me to be like big brother and make fun of, mess with him in the huddle, mess with TB, T, Joe, Mix, like all the boys. All the boys we're brothers. We are brothers out there, just messing with one another, picking on one another, and then celebrating when we do what we do, which is score a bunch of points. So, it's having him. It's great. It's great. Just his presence in the huddle, in the locker room is amazing. Obviously, he is an incredible football player. He's breaking records left and right out there, and he's making defenses at times look silly. At really good defenses look silly. So, his body of work on the field has spoken for itself, but I can't talk enough about how much I love his presence just in the locker room, in the huddle, around the guys. Just it's lively. It honestly, I come to work and I am happy as anything that I get to play football with him, with Joe, with the other Joe, with all the guys. So I can't speak enough about that. Soccer. Let's go. Why am I a Chelsea fan? Because Chelsea's the best soccer club in the world, football club, proper football, right? My dad is a huge soccer fan. He played growing up, and he was a big Inter Milan fan. Is a big Inter Milan fan, but he remembers when Inter Milan was that to him. He's like, oh yes, and early '90s, late night, like that's the heyday of Inter Milan, and he knows players. Dad, I don't know who that is really. I'm not an Inter fan, but I've loved soccer because of him, and that was the first sport I ever played. And Chelsea Chelsea happened because I was playing FIFA. I was playing FIFA with one of my guys. We did random one time, and I got Chelsea, and I decided that Chelsea was going to be my team from there on. So from then on, and I was like in middle school, and I just fell in love, and I've loved Chelsea ever since. So that's why I'm a Chelsea fan. The best football club in the world.
All right, let's go to Teresa Walker, AP.
Good morning, CJ. You kind of mentioned Joe's experience and Jamar. You yourself, having played at Auburn, SEC, how much does that playing in that conference with the big stadiums, et cetera, maybe ease the transition to the NFL? And there's a whole, I think there's like 11 or 12 SEC players on the Bengals roster alone. Can you kind of feel that SEC experience at all helping these kids transition?
Yeah, I think Joe did say it best. I was never going to say this going into an away stadium. He did. He was like, yeah. I mean, I've heard louder at Baton Rouge, and you do. I mean, being completely honest, you do. Like the stadiums are bigger. There's more people that are in there. I mean, Jordan Hare has like 87,000. So and I think the max was like 89,000 something when we played Alabama my senior year. So yeah, I think for sure that helps. In terms of just knowing what to expect from an away stadium, from a hostile environment. And then, yeah, like you said, I mean, we have, what would you say, 11 or 12, something like that, SEC players. So that when you're playing in that conference, you're playing against, the best. And I think that does help for sure. I think, seeing Joe and Jamar's chemistry that they have, that helps. You get to throw it to your receiver, you get to catch it from your quarterback that you've been catching from for a while now, and that clearly translates over. So yeah, I think there's some validity in the fact that the SEC, playing at that high level, helps with the transition. It is, I mean, this is still the best of the best, but I think it does help a little bit for sure.
All right, let's go to Paul Daner from The Athletic.
CJ, what's up? Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want to ask if you realize that your legend has grown during the on crutches celebration after the game. I mean, do you feel like, do you understand like how epic that looks when you're out there on crutches in the post game celebration, still partying with the boys and everything?
Oh, I mean, I wasn't missing that either. No, yeah, it was that was the toughest part. Was like I was out there, and they were like, hey, you should probably stay in. I was like, no. I want to go out there. And two, I wasn't able to, I was jumping around. So, after Trent, I don't know if this is, scene or anything, but after Trent Taylor scored the 2-point conversion, I was hyped because I had watched that play, and I knew that play was going to work. I mean, we all knew that play was going to work. So, when he motions over, I'm like, yes, here it comes. And I was jumping. I was, trying to crutch over, give him dabs, whatever, and they were like, hey, if you keep doing this, you got to go back inside. So, it was tough for me not to, just be up the entire time, dapping everybody up. I had to sit on the bench. That was tough. But there was no way I wasn't about to celebrate with the boys after that one. I didn't care where I had to crutch, how far I had to crutch. I was celebrating with everyone. I didn't know the legend had grown too much of that. But, yeah, I was just letting out a bunch of, 29 years of energy pent up of wanting to go to the Super Bowl. Came out, and I wasn't going to let some crutches stop that.
All right, let's go to Jenna Alike and with WJPZ.
Hey, CJ. So you just talked about being aggressive on, for 2-point conversions, and then you talked about Joe Burrow and how you feel confident when he's under center to get you whatever you need to. I was curious to know your feelings about being aggressive in those situations, whether it's going for 2 or a long 4th down conversion.
Yeah, I mean, coach calls the play, we're going to execute. I think, I don't know. I think, I don't know. Personally, I'm just, if our coach says, hey, this is what we're going to do, we're going to do it, and we're going to execute it. And we go over certain situations like that. Like I said, that 2-point play, I was like, that's going to work. That's working right now. That is how we drew it up, better than we drew it up, better than we've been practicing it. And it executed at the level that that we knew it would. And so things like that, situations like that, when the plays come up, we prepare for them, and coach calls the play, and if the coach is like, hey, this is the situation, this is what we're going to do, and we know it, we're like, oh yeah, we've practiced this, we know this is going to work, we just have to go out there and execute it, then by all means call it, like dial it up. So yeah, I think I'm for it. I'm for it. We practice it for a reason, so go ahead.
All right, let's go to Brooke Pryor with ESPN.
Hey, CJ. I'm wondering, how would you describe Evan McPherson's confidence, and how does it compare to Joe Burrow's?
How would I describe Evan? Evan is okay. Here we go. This is easy. All right. Can I give you an analogy of this?
Yes, please.
All right. Dope. Cool. So my analogy is, and it's easy for me to say this because Evan's a child to me. I mean, this is the chicken finger eating champion of the world, right? So we've got two kids on the playground. We got one who's like the 7-year-old stud, who is just a menace to society, who's just like, he's the best, and he's just like running around out there and just making people miss, making the older kids miss, and just like smiling at their face as he does it, just like laughing, kind of like playful little banter, just like giving you little smug looks, and you want to give him a 7 years old, you want to give him a wedgie, but you can't because you can't catch him, right? Like that's Evan, like that's his confidence, like, yeah, I'm the best, haha, dummies, like just a little kid. Joe is like the big kid who comes in and is like, no sir, like this is, like, you're great little 7-year-old, like high school kids come out to play, like get on the sideline for a second, let me do what I need to do. And the 7-year-old's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's gonna be me, that's what I'm gonna be when I get bigger in 10 years. I think that's the best way to put it. Like Joe is that, like, just stern, like, yo, I'm that guy, and Evan's the little 7-year-old who's running out there and doesn't know any better and just kicking game winners. I think that was a good analogy. If you need something else, let me know. But I think that was good.
That was perfect. Thank you.
Good.
All right, we got time for just a couple more questions here. Let's go to Paul Daner.
Hey, CJ. You know Witt a little bit. I don't know how well, when you were young, he was in his last couple of years here. What do you remember about Witt and the way he sort of kind of ran the locker room when you first came to Cincinnati? And are you still in kind of disbelief that you're about to play against him in the Super Bowl? Are you still doing it?
Yeah, wait, real quick question. Does anybody call you Paulie D?
It has happened. There's a lot of things that people call me. It happens.
Same,
unfortunately.
Same.
Yeah.
I was just a question. I mean, I've known you for a while now. I've never called you Paulie D. So
you can call me whatever you like.
No, all right. We'll be on the G-rated of those. We'll be nice with Paulie D. No, it coming in as a rookie and seeing the way he handled himself, he's a pro's pro, right? Seeing how he took care of his body, seeing what he did, seeing how the profession is supposed to be, right? Getting massages, getting acupuncture. After a game on Sunday, seeing him running a couple miles in the Ultra G on Monday, Tuesday, coming in, getting that work in, getting his body right. Seeing that, I mean, that is a pro's pro. He is a pro's pro. And then seeing what he does off the field, seeing, how much the community loves him, how much people love him. It's something that I admired. I wanted, that's what I aspired to be and do, and kind of that presence I want, around the community, is to help people out and be a really good football player on the field, and use my platform and my influence in a positive way and be a light for people. And he is that. And yeah, I am. I mean, it's playing against him. This is amazing, right? Like you're right. I wasn't able to play with him for 4, 5, 6 years, but in the little time that I had, I couldn't be happier for him and his career. And yeah, I'm sure this is going to be super special for him. I'm glad I get to be on the field with him for it.
All right, we got time for one more question here. Let's go to Jake Malik, Sideline Sports.
Hey, CJ, how are you?
I'm great. You got the last question. You better make it a good one. No pressure.
I'm going to try. Trust me. I'll do my best. Look, you paid your dues, and you've been on the team as one of the longest tenured current players, right? How does it feel to be with Joe and Jamar and the other Joe, right? You have this awesome group, and there's other guys I'm missing. This fantastic group of guys, and you're finally making it to the Super Bowl, the biggest game of your career. We already know you're going to be out there. I mean, we understand you're rehabbing. I heard what you said before. Let's be real. You'll be out there. We know that. But what does it mean to you to finally play in the biggest game you could possibly be in?
Oh, man. I mean, it's the best. It's the absolute best feeling. Thinking about it right now, I haven't thought about this way before, but used to play against my dad in Madden, and until I got way too good, he was like, "All right, I'm done doing this." But every time it was we made a fake Super Bowl trophy in the house. He did. He used a little foam, a little noodle, a little pool noodle as the ball. We shaped it into the football. We had a little, I forget, like a vase or something, and we wrapped it and spray painted it, and it was the trophy. It was the Lombardi trophy, and we played for it in Madden. And man, I actually just thought of that right now when you asked that, which is awesome. But it's incredible. It's incredible thinking of and about the hard work that I've put in, the time that I've put in, the summers that I've missed, the sleepovers that I missed, the hangout sessions that I missed because I was out throwing the football, out at football camps, out with, in high school we had 7-on-7s, we had team camp, we had 3-a-days, we had this and that and the other, and 3-a-days are not legal anymore, I'm pretty sure, but I mean that's what we did, and that's what it took, and that's what it takes to get to the level that we're at, and that's, just looking back on it, it's surreal. It really is, and I don't think it'll hit me until, after the game, when we come out with a win, that all that hard work just is there, and holding that trophy, not holding the fake one that my dad made, that I loved so much as a kid. It's going to be the real one, and man, that is going to be, that's the pinnacle. That is what you play for. That's why I missed as much as I missed as a kid, for this opportunity. So, yeah, I'm relishing this moment right now, and I'm looking forward to being out there.
All right, CJ, we will end it right there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Jamar. Hey, I'm going to Jamar's.
All right, hang tight. Let's see. I think CJ, you're a phone call. Jeff, if you can get him on